Okay, so Star Wars lore and its timelines. Is it like Marvel, where you got just a clustered truck of different paths and branches, or is it linear? How can new people understand what's canon, what's non canon, and what's fanfiction? Huh. If you have been wondering about these topics, or if you are new to Star Wars, fear not, man, I got your back. If you have been wondering, it's pretty simple, and yet it is not. Let me tell you what I mean. It's pretty simple to understand if I just tell you about what is canon and what is legends, adding a mention to fanfiction afterwards. But it's complicated because it's a bit more subjective than that. The subjectivity comes from the fact Lucas had what was now legends, canon, and Disney changed the rules and discarded nearly everything in the Star Wars universe. So, as they put it, to start fresh, but in my opinion, because they were lazy to learn Star Wars the right way. See, I'm getting subjective already, goddammit. I respect everyone's vision of Star Wars, and though I don't touch the new trilogy, not even with a 100-yard stick, I still appreciate that some people love it. In my head, though, it isn't canon. I much prefer Luca's story of the Skywalkers and the Solos rather than Kathleen's one. But let's remain factual about this. Today I'm going to tell you what's canon, what's not, what's fanfiction, and how you should look at it from an unbiased point of view. Now, let's start by taking a look at what is canon. So, when Disney got the rights to Star Wars, they kept a few things canon and discarded the rest. Since then, a lot of things were added already, but here's what is canon so far: the prequel trilogy, the Clone Wars show, Solo, Kenobi, Star Wars Rebels, Cassian Andor, the original trilogy, Rogue One, Mandalorian, Resistance, the sequel trilogy, and Galaxy's Edge. If you just want to go for the canon content, then you already have a lot on here to digest. But if you want my recommendation on where to start, I'd start by the prequels, the original trilogy, the Clone Wars, and the Mandalorian. Those are great pieces. But again, this is just opinion, and you should just probably read about these things and decide yourself based on what is calling on your interest the most. The non canon and fan fiction parts are different. Just because it's non canon, it doesn't mean it's fan fiction. If it was officially launched by Lucas, his companies or authorized publishers, if it was canon before, then now it's legends and non canon. Do you know about most of the characters I cover in this channel? Like Darth Talon, Serraketo, Mara Jade, Starkiller. All of those, well, they never happened according to Disney. Not canon. They are considered legends and therefore not canon. However, they are legends, which means they are not just fanfiction either. Fanfiction is when people with no permission from Lucas or authorized publishers or Disney or authorized publishers write about Star Wars. Like if your neighbor writes a story. This is my explanation for the timelines, but now I got to touch on how I think everyone should handle Star Wars. Be it canon or legends, consume it all and then decide later what pieces of the story make sense for you or not. I didn't discard Disney's canon without looking. I went to every movie and bought every comic and consumed it all. I chewed on it, compared it against the Legends version, and decided to discard Disney and keep Lucas version instead. My canon keeps things I liked from Disney too. I didn't discard The Mandalorian, and I didn't discard The Clone Wars. I did, however, discard the sequels trilogy because, through the entire wealth of knowledge I had on Star Wars, I looked upon it with a lot of previous knowledge of the lore and found out too many inconsistencies to consider the movie's canon. It was too unreal for the rest of my Star Wars knowledge. Overall, I think people should decide what their canon is based on the old map they built in their heads, because Star Wars is so vast that each person is bound to have a different view on it. That is partially why people argue on top 10 lists all the time, and that's part of why Star Wars is so loved. To each their own. Thank you for watching, I hope you liked it, and if you did, please leave me a like, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below as I answer every comment I get. You're on Star Academy, and I'll see you next time.